Did you ever stop and think about why some people are introverts while others are extroverts, even when they grew up in the same environment? It's such a fascinating question, isn't it? You'd think that if you were raised in the same household, with the same parents, same rules, same everything, you'd turn out pretty similar. But that's not always the case. I mean, look at siblings. You've got one who thrives in social situations, lighting up a room with their energy, while the other might prefer curling up with a book in the corner, relishing the quiet. What gives? Well, it turns out that the difference between introversion and extroversion is a complex interplay of genetics, biology, and environmental factors. Let's dive into this, shall we? First off, genetics plays a significant role. Research has shown that traits like introversion and extroversion can be partly inherited. It's like having a personality blueprint passed down through your genes. So, if your parents were outgoing and social butterflies, there's a chance you might inherit some of that extroverted spark. Conversely, if they were more reserved, you might find yourself leaning towards introversion. It's not a hard and fast rule, of course, but it's certainly a factor in the mix. Now, let's talk about brain chemistry, because this is where it gets really interesting. Our brains are wired differently, and one of the key players in this is dopamine, a neurotransmitter that influences our mood and motivation. Extroverts tend to have a more active dopamine system, which means they seek out social interactions and external stimuli. They thrive on the buzz of a lively party or the energy of a crowded cafe. It's like they're wired to chase after excitement. On the flip side, introverts may have a lower threshold for dopamine. This doesn't mean they don't enjoy socializing. It just means they might prefer quieter, less stimulating environments. For them, a cozy gathering with close friends can be far more rewarding than a loud, bustling event. But wait, there's more. Even within the same family, early life experiences can shape personality in unique ways. Siblings can have vastly different experiences based on their interactions and relationships. Maybe one sibling was the outgoing one, always encouraged to speak up and engage, while the other was more reserved, perhaps feeling overshadowed or less confident in social situations. These nuanced experiences can greatly influence how they perceive the world and their place in it, ultimately shaping their personality over time. And let's not forget about social influences. Family dynamics, friendships, and cultural backgrounds all play a role in whether someone leans towards introversion or extroversion. For example, if you grow up in a family that values social interaction, where dinner conversations are lively and everyone is encouraged to share their thoughts, you might find yourself more inclined to embrace extroverted traits. On the other hand, if your family is more reserved, you might feel more at home in quieter settings. But here's the kicker. Even within the same environment, people respond differently to these influences. One sibling might thrive in social situations while the other feels drained, and that's perfectly okay. Then there's the aspect of personal choices and adaptation. Over time, we all develop preferences and habits that align with either introversion or extroversion. Maybe you've had experiences that led you to choose solitude over crowds. Perhaps you found that spending time alone allows you to recharge and reflect, reinforcing those introverted tendencies. Or maybe you realized that being around others energizes you, pushing you to seek out social opportunities. These choices can become part of who we are, shaping our identities and reinforcing our natural inclinations. So, what does all this mean? It means that while the environment we grow up in is significant, it's only one piece of a much larger puzzle. Genetics, brain chemistry, early life experiences, social influences, and personal choices all intertwine to create the beautiful tapestry of our personalities. It's a reminder that we are all wonderfully unique, shaped by a myriad of factors that contribute to who we are. Understanding this can also foster greater empathy. If you're an extrovert, it might help to recognize that your introverted friend isn't being antisocial. They're simply navigating the world in a way that feels right for them. And if you're an introvert, it's okay to embrace your need for solitude without feeling pressured to conform to extroverted ideals. We all have our own ways of connecting with the world, And that's what makes human interaction so rich and diverse. In a world that often celebrates extroversion, it's crucial to acknowledge the value of introversion as well. Both personality types bring unique strengths to the table. Extroverts often excel in social settings, thriving on collaboration and networking, while introverts tend to be great listeners, deep thinkers, and incredibly observant. Each has its place, and together we create a balanced society. So, the next time you find yourself pondering the differences between introverts and extroverts, remember that it's a complex dance of nature and nurture. We're all navigating this journey in our own way, shaped by a blend of genetics, biology, and life experiences. Embrace your personality, whatever it may be, and celebrate the diversity that makes us human. After all, it's our differences that make life so interesting.